If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live show today. It's not a call-in talk show about the Wheel of Time. It's just a live show. We're chilling out here at the Dusty Wheel. It's just me. We're going to be talking about some mysteries that I think that I've found. I don't know. I watched this trailer maybe 100 times. I don't know, a lot while I was running on the treadmill the other day. So this show is a product of that. We're going to be talking about what I found, and you guys can tell me if I'm crazy. And this should only go about 20, 30 minutes. So that's right. We're all here to talk all about some secrets and mysteries. So I'll just be chatting with you guys here in chat. But why don't we just kick this off with my favorite? I think I told everyone that this was going to be my favorite one first. So yeah, let's jump into this. And you guys tell me what you think. So this first one comes from the trailer when Sophie Okonedo, she is talking to somebody that we believe, because of this earring that you see here, people believe that they've tied this in other trailer reviews to Nynaeve. And it was something that I noticed as I was watching this moment. You know, it's a really short little clip, right? Nothing much here. But I noticed as her lip was open that something around her lip looked more red than the rest of her lips. And I thought to myself, why would that be? Like, why would it be more red? But I tried to verify this. So here we go. Let me help you out here. Let me zoom in. And you guys tell me if you see the same thing. And I wondered if it was just maybe some, maybe there's just some coloring there in her lips. Looked up some other pictures on this. We had this tweet from Geeky Yeri who said, "My apologies if someone else came up with this theory already. Just wanted to share this. But what if this is where Siuan schools Nynaeve with a 1-power lesson?" And if you remember from The Great Hunt, we do get something just like that. And so I brightened this up a little bit. And I know some of you are saying, maybe this was just some kind of, something, maybe some shadow on her lip. So it looks like it, and I could be just making this up, everybody, but it looks like maybe there's a little blood on her lip. Think of who, if she is talking to Nynaeve here, right? Think of what scene this reminds you of in The Great Hunt, where, obviously Siuan comes in, and I think she works with Egwene and Nynaeve, and she's heard about Nynaeve, and she kind of pushes her a bit. And so I wonder if this is an example, and I'm starting to see maybe some people are kind of coming with me here on this idea, that maybe this is an example of a situation where Nynaeve maybe has slapped her, kind of lashed out for kind of basically what had gone on with the Miss Fielder. So yeah, that is my first theory here, and the one I'm kind of most interested in. And yes, again, I could be wrong, but you distinctly see the discoloration right here in the middle from her lips. So what do you think on this first one here? Do you think that maybe this is, is this, and maybe throw a poll up here for our people in live chat, is this an indication of Siuan's, if you will, we'll just call it first lesson with Nynaeve? What do you think about this theory that Nynaeve has potentially maybe slapped her, struck her because of everything that had kind of happened so far with this? And, Gabriella just pointed out, maybe she bit her lip in frustration when she was alone. Sure, that could totally happen. Deadsicle just asked, what scene is this from the trailer? Let's review this scene really quick for everyone here. And again, it's a very, very short scene, but I think there's something indicative of, right here. She said, it's really fast, right? The last battle is coming. So in my theory, this is her making a case for why it was necessary what happened with the Emond's Fielders, and basically also kind of getting a rise out of Nynaeve. So, and so some of you are kind of going elsewhere with this one, which I like. I like some innovation here. Let me see if I can show some comments from chat here. This one, it looks like she maybe bit her lip. That's a possibility. Although a Nynaeve slap is just so on point for the Wheel of Time that to me that's much more. I favor this theory more, and so I do love the idea that. And then Phillips just said, I don't see Siuan letting Nynaeve slap her. But again, I don't know that that's true. When we consider what Siuan's probably heard about Nynaeve, as we can consider the books also and The Great Hunt, I don't know that that's true. So I'm going to go with, that doesn't really help my theory, does it? So I'm going to go with, and George says, maybe talking to Moraine here. Totally get that. This image again, if we want to jump back to that. And like I said, some other content creators broke this down and showed, an image of, and I think it was Nynaeve, and if I happen to kind of just luckily pick it out of the stream here, I'll show you. But it was when she had her back, I think, to, let me see if I can find it. Of course, I don't get lucky enough to find that. But when she had her back to, and let me show the screen again. When she has her back to a tree and you can see this earring and what looks to be, in my opinion, kind of the hair being pulled back into a braid here. So that's the theory. That's the first kind of interesting point here. I asked everyone in chat, is this an indication of Siuan's first lesson with Nynaeve, perhaps? Basically it's that Nynaeve gave her a good slap. This... I guess so far 63%, 64%. You're still voting on this. Believe that, maybe this is. So it sounds like maybe you're going with me on this theory. Thanks, everybody. I like this. I like this first one. Like I said, this one again. This might just come out of too much watching of the trailer. Maybe I've just watched this trailer too many times. But as a reminder, if you're jumping in, the theory is that this actually is blood on Siuan's lips. Shafmafro said maybe sipping some red wine. I think that could be another theory here. But Austin saying probably just bit her lip and filming. Look, we're not going to know for sure, but I love that. You're all kind of coming along with me on this first one. So. Cameron, I just saw a comment from Cameron. Let me throw that one up here. Said, with that skin tone, it's Nynaeve. So Cameron is believing that that's Nynaeve for sure. And Rajesh said, not gonna unsee that now. You're welcome, Rajesh. I think that's what's fun about this, like staring at the screen a little bit too closely. We start seeing things. I like this one. Kath just said maybe not a slap necessarily, but some sort of jostling. Absolutely. If you remember what happens in The Great Hunt, I don't think it's a slap, but they go at each other with the one power, and that's for sure. I think Nynaeve, tracks down, basically sees the weaves being used against her and uses them back against the Amyrlin Sea. So I love that they might have pulled this in. Okay, so the other part of this theory is, I think didn't Rafe said some stuff from maybe book 2? So I like the idea that maybe this is a book 2 scene. So that's the second part of this theory, that, if this is or happens to be, blood on her lip and this is Nynaeve who she's speaking to, and they jostle a little bit, maybe there's a slap going on, that this is also a scene, and a pretty classic scene from the books, brought into season 1, obviously because now we see that we're going to Tar Valon already. So okay, let me end this poll here. Almost 200 of you voted in. 65% say yes, this is indicative of that first lesson time. So there we go. That's our first one. I like it. Okay, so this next one is kind of fun too. And this came out of actually watching, this next one came out of watching this on the TV and not on a computer. So the stuff at the bottom was a bit more visible. So I want to show you that one, although, I got a comment from Stubble we'll address here shortly. So I noticed again, running on my treadmill, I was like, why not watch the trailer over and over again? And so this one I noticed at the bottom, obviously we're all just staring at Daniel Henney's face here as he turns in this moment. But I noticed on the bottom of the screen that there was something, it almost looked like his hand was down there. So I had to go and look at this. And it does. It looks like his arm is reaching out at the bottom of the screen. If you check it out, you see his hand. And I didn't notice anyone else talking about this. I don't think it's a huge deal. It's just no one mentioned this, and it was a fun one. So let me, enhance a bit more here. And so if you look at this, I'm pretty sure that was our last enhancement. Yeah. So, I just gave you a sneak peek of where we're going. Yeah. So this hand behind, and this looks like hair. And so a hand holding, coming down off a land, behind a head, and that hair right there. Who is that? I mean, it's dark hair, so it could be a variety of people. But yeah, this it's. I think the theories are what is your theory? Because yeah, there's a saddlebag, like Mr. Q just said, right behind, and it looks like a head maybe on that saddlebag, and then it looks like his hand holding that head. I mean, it's Lan, right? So. Where would this be, everybody? We don't know where, but we do know that obviously he's concerned about Moraine. Is that Moraine there? So yeah, this was a fun one. Moraine, absolutely. Bookage says Moraine's forehead. Yeah, like that's. Is that Matt Dagger said? Is that a dead Aldib? Wow, that's digging deep. Trolloc hair from MK. So yeah, let me go over here. We know that Moraine is injured. So, how about this? Our poll is, whose head is Lan holding here? Do we have any other options? Moraine was kind of a clear option here. Anybody else that might be this person? I don't see any. We see an Ewok. I don't think a Trolloc, we can add that there. I'm seeing lots of Moraine. I don't see, dead Aldib doesn't feel like, it's got to be a fade head. We'll throw a fade in there. I like it. Yeah, and we do see some type of saddlebags. Austin says he's patting Moraine's head. Yeah, so again, this isn't like breaking like terribly important ground here, but if you look at this image, it's just something that I noticed while looking away from the main image on the screen here. And with Moraine, Malkier Talk says this is clearly Muriel's forehead. This one's inconclusive. Daniel Jones says doesn't see a head. What do you think this is? It looked like hair and a head, but it could be something else. Maybe we'll just say, what is at the bottom of the screen? Narg was hurt. Definitely Narg. I see that. And then Deadsicle says, okay, that is Moraine. This one's an interesting one. Again, we won't know here for a bit, but considering she's injured, that seems likely. I like, Rajesh says not sold on this one. I get it. So, and then, Rasak Blood said, okay, zoomed out, it looks more like a head. I'll zoom out for everybody again. Yeah, like Rajesh said, not sold on this one. But like I said, from Deadsicle, that's Moraine. Brother Buddha said pale and wan, considering an injury potentially. And Amy's the wise one. It's inconclusive. Yeah, Hector just is throwing out a Nynaeve, perhaps. Eben is just saying this because Eben knows that I love Lanfear, right? So, like I said, so yeah, let me throw back up the image here, and I'll do a zoomed out version of this, and I'll kind of come back in. So there's your zoomed out. We can kind of zoom on a little bit there. Then you come in here and a little bit closer for everyone. And then we'll come back out, and yeah, there you go. Yeah, this zoomed out one, once you, like I said, it looks like hair to me. And Nick Judge said, not buying it. Yep. So let me, how about this? We'll see how many people are buying this theory. Do you think Lance is holding someone's head? How about that? We'll go with that far because I haven't convinced everyone here. Do you think Lan is holding someone's head is the question on the table here for those of you in live chat with us on YouTube. If you're liking this kind of thing, this is a very Dusty Wheel endeavor here that we'd love doing with everyone live. So please do subscribe, jump over here, jump into chat. Joel Jeff just said, yeah, I don't see it. I get it. Yeah, I haven't convinced everyone on this one, that's for sure. Fade with a wig. Yes, Lan and Lanfear sitting in a tree. That's right. This one isn't as conclusive. Obviously, it's something at the bottom of that. We're waiting for the votes to come in on this one. Over 100 of you have voted already. And yes, okay, I shouldn't say it's not as conclusive. For a lot of you, it is. 72% are saying he is holding someone's head. We don't know whose. Okay. So I love it. Love your comments there. That was the second one. So if you missed it, the first one was perhaps this is blood on Sophie Okonedo's lips, and maybe this is Nynaeve who she's talking to, and there's maybe some jostling that went on, and it's that first lesson with Nynaeve and the Amerlin. So that was a fun one. And then we jump over to this one that perhaps Lan's arm and hand is holding someone's head here. A lot of you have volunteered up Moraine as possibility. Okay. So here we go. That's number 3. These first 3 are pretty much the ones I'm really curious about. I'm going to show some other ones here that are just fun, but this next one I thought was really interesting because, again, no one seems to be talking about it that I've seen. If you have been, I apologize. I've missed it. And this one happens on the wall of Shadar Logoth. This is with Egwene. And if you noticed, I noticed something shining on Egwene's wrist. I know my first inclination was she wearing a watch? Like, what's up with the wrist shine there, Egwene? What is on her wrist? And then so I tried to enhance that a little bit more. Sorry, not enhance. I actually caught another, there's another glare off of something on her wrist there. And I was like, can you keep seeing this off of, in other kind of images as she's coming up the wall, and you see it right there. There's a glint right there off of her wrist, just like you see a glint maybe on a finger for a ring. So this one I don't have any great theories for. I did go check. This one's just a promotional image, but we see a lot of jewelry, but nothing on that left hand. And then we see on this one, as she's walking in, nothing on this left hand either. So we're talking about the fact that this, from all intents and purposes, we believe Shadar Logoth is episode 2. So if they're in Shadar Logoth in episode 2, I'm curious for all of you here, what do you think this is? I'll tell you my first theory, which I thought was a lot of fun. It's totally not, right? But I was like, did they actually have Egwene pick up something in Shadar Logoth 2? Something we don't know about? Like maybe it's not just Mat with a dagger. Egwene picks up something while they're there. But then you don't see any, I guess we don't really see her. Do we have other shots of her in the trailer? I guess we don't. So yeah, I was going to say, we have the promotional image of her, and she's looking a lot better than Mat is, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So yeah, that's my first theory on this was maybe she picked up something too. Maybe they're giving us that. Now I'm seeing some other theories that you're having here. I like these. Keep going, everybody. This is, so late October said, and sorry, I can't throw your comment up. Maybe Moraine gave her something to track her, I'm seeing Bearzerger said, it's an Adam. That would be an aggressively quick run if this is Shadar Logoth, what we believe to be episode 2, and have this be an Adam. That's for sure. Ooh, I love this idea from Peter Robinson. Peter Robinson in chat just said a gift from Aram. Although again, episode 2, if this is Shadar Logoth, again, we know they go to Terran Ferry. And the belief, I thought we have the metadata from the Shadar Logoth picture from Entertainment Weekly that tells us that it is episode 2. So it's hard to imagine that Aram would have been part of this. Mat gave it to her, Bornhald. This one's, I'm not seeing any kind of overwhelming idea from you all, what this could be, but there is something there. So now I have to ask this question because of, good old Game of Thrones days. With the Starbucks cup. Do you think this is, let me end the last poll. So Lan holding someone's head. 67% of you said yes. So, Okay, we're together. Those are the ones. We're together here. Tarwin's Taint said, "Do you mean Rafe's trolling metadata?" No, come on. It could be. It totally could be trolling us. So I guess this is still a theory. Let me ask this poll. Do you think whatever is on Egwene's wrist is an in-world item? That is to say, not an our first age item. Yeah, maybe I should say that. Is from the first age or the third age. There we go. We'll give a poll that is very on point for our subject matter today. So third age or first age is the question here. Do you think whatever is on Egwene's wrist is from the first age or the third age? For those of you maybe that want some clarification, first age being our age. That's right. Or do you think it is actually something and we just haven't figured out what it is yet? Oh, I like some thoughts here that I'm seeing in chat now that I've asked that question. I probably missed a bunch of you. Mullock said, keepsake from home. I love that idea. Yeah, that definitely could be a keepsake, although it didn't show up there in the beginning. And again, we only have that promotional image from Entertainment Weekly, so it's perhaps she took something with her. That's a good point. Zacharias, said, could it be something production related? Something, again, first age, potentially, that just happened to show up in a shot. That's why I'm asking this question here. Oh, I can see already some of the chat coming in. Like James Phillips said, first age Rolex. Yes, I love that idea. And Rand, I like this idea from Wild Gardenia. Rand gave it to Egwene after Nookie. There you go. So, yeah, exactly. Or a first age Fitbit. Nice one. I love it. That's a funny idea. Okay. So those were promise ring. Grady, good point. I like that. Grady just threw out promise ring from Rand, or like quote promise ring from Rand. Some new Emansfield tradition. Yeah. Winter night gift from Rand. Avienda said that too. That this totally could be a gift from Rand. I think we'll follow this up with a question for everybody, because I'm going to end this poll. Almost 200 of you voted, and basically you all think this is a third age item. We had 80 some odd %. So a lot of you believe it's from Rand. So if this is from the third age, how about that? We'll say, is it from Rand? There we go. Okay, so let's ask you all what you think. I'm seeing a lot of people believe this is from Rand. So again, let me catch you up to where we're at. We're talking about this theory that Egwene is wearing something on her left wrist as she appears to be climbing the walls of Shadar Logoth. And you can see the glint off of that, and you actually see the glint off of her, off of the item. I think she has something metallic probably on her finger also. And then if you go to this one right here, it is also there. And again, you can kind of see the one on her finger. So what is that? And we don't really know. I'm not remembering seeing Egwene anymore after we see her in the beginning. So am I forgetting something? I don't think so. Okay, so that was that one, everybody. Let me remind you of what we were looking at before this. If you just joined us, the previous discussion we had was this one. This is Lan, potentially holding something in his hand. There you can see at the bottom. And as you zoom in, there's something it looks like to me as I zoom in. It looks like hair and on a saddlebag there, as many have mentioned, but we couldn't decide on who this was necessarily or if this was actually hair, but it was a 63 to 70 or 37%. And as a final reminder, is the blood on the lip here indicative of maybe some first lesson with Nynaeve? So these were fun. I love those three. I'm going to go through some things. Okay, let me end this poll. Almost 200 of you voted on this one too. And then this poll that said, is this item on Egwene's wrist from the third age? And it looks like this is split. 54% of you said yes. 45% said no. Okay, so what other explanation is? And I'm kind of curious. Hopefully you'll talk about this. Go talk about this on social media. Ask everyone. Point them over here, of course, to our discussion. This is fun. We're going to go through maybe another 10 minutes, and it'll be done. It's just a short kind of, for me, lunchtime discussion with y'all. We'll probably do these more often. Like MR Howley said, Dusty Wheel drinking bracelet. Brother Buddha did say, okay, let me see if I can find that one. Thank you very much for the for telling me the timestamp, because, you know, finding the timestamps live are pretty tough. Let me see if we see her wrist. This is a tough one. Let me show everybody. I don't see necessarily her left wrist here. So again, it could be just because it's a little bit hidden by this bar at the bottom. But I'm not seeing anything right there that glints off of a wrist. Oh, right there is kind of, you get a little bit more of the wrist there. So yeah, maybe we're not seeing that, at least at this point at Winter Night. So, whew. Okay, hopefully y'all enjoyed this little, we're going to keep going here just for a bit. But those were the three that I was like, these are really fun. We have to go talk to everybody. But I think this one's fun too. I just don't have any ideas, and that's why you're all here. This next one has to do with Matt and the Aiel in the cage. So a lot of us focused on the Aiel, obviously, as some of you came up with, hey, this Aiel looks like Rafe. That was one of them. I was like, wow, that's dark. But looking obviously at this, what appears to be a dead Aiel in a cage, some people talked about what almost looks like to be some kind of maybe leather jerkin. There's arrows, obviously 4 or 5 arrows here, if not more. The thing that I noticed was actually down here by the left hand of this Aiel. And let me zoom in. There seems to be something, this stuck out to me, this just when I watched it, seemed to be something pink. And I couldn't tell if this was a flower. Like, I'm not sure what this is, of course. I would be coming to you with a theory. I might have kicked it off if I had a great theory on this one. I have no idea what this is. Maybe it's just a glint off of... No, I mean, it looks like something. You know, I'll be honest, I looked in the books for like pink flower or something. You know, I didn't really... I think I saw one reference to a flower. Any thoughts here? This is for you guys. I have no idea what this might be. Have any thoughts on what this Aiel in the cage, this pink thing here... I love Tamuyan Radari said, looks like gum. Yeah, exactly. I have no idea. George says flower. It did look like a flower to me. What do you think that would mean? Why would there be one pink flower? Maybe. Okay, I have a theory. Here we go. What if this Aiel, there was maybe, okay, this sounds ridiculous, some relationship perhaps? I don't know, in this town, in this Aiel has a relationship, and maybe the flower was left by that person afterwards. I don't know. That's kind of a bad. That's David Gregory did say this, and this is a thought that did come to me. I think it was right around the last night when I was wondering what this could be, and the idea that this might be a ribbon of some sort. I was like, was it a pink ribbon? I don't know if that. And I love. Was it Mr. Q just said an algode blossom? That could be right. I like that idea. A dagger, perhaps. Gabriella said. You know, a crystal or a gem. I'm seeing some of the idea here. Jewelry. Okay, so why don't we do a poll on this one, and we'll move on. Let me throw out some options here that you all threw in. And people were kind of generic. So, you know, what's this pink thing on the Aiel? And I heard flower. Let's throw in, people are saying maybe jewelry of some sort, you know, a weapon. Maybe this is a dagger. A flower, we're going to go with basically is going to cover anything in the blossoms area, if you will. Did I miss, what else did I miss here, everyone, as potential options? Maybe we'll just say other. How about that? Other. We'll give you that option. Here we go. Let's ask everybody. If you remember, we're kind of wondering what we're talking about here. Oh, and I just saw, by the way, I apologize. Stubble McShave, you made a comment way back here. Let me see if I can find it, man. Oh, yeah, there you go. Stubble said, I'm certain that the dark rider we see from the back just before Fade Scream is actually Moraine arriving in Edmund's Field. The cloak hides the white horse. Yeah, actually, I went back and looked at it. I think I saw you made a comment about that. I think they've tricked us into believing that might be the Myrddraal, but I do believe maybe could be Lan, could be Moraine. I think you're right. That doesn't have to be Myrddraal. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. That's really good. And I did see 2 other comments come in beyond just all of your comments here. First of all, this one was from Inca, said, gonna end soon. Gotta get a super chat in. Weird to think it's lunchtime for you as it's late in the evening here at Finland. Thank you very much for your tip. Really appreciate that. And unraveling the pattern. Love visiting the Dusty Wheel in the middle of a workday. We're not going to stay too much longer. I mean, 5-10 minutes, that's not like stretch forever, isn't it? Unraveling the Pattern has actually been doing a deep dive of his own. Another one that's coming out soon. Be on the lookout for that. I can't wait to see what he found, and if he maybe found some of these too, or these were some of his points of interest. Okay, so the poll is done. About 160 of you answered the poll, and yeah, Other is winning this one, everybody. Other is the winner of this poll. What's this pink thing on the Aiel? 47% Other. That's right. Flower is 30%, and jewelry 10%, dagger 10%. Really interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing your theories. I want to hear them in the comments. Please do after this video. I'd like to hear your comments about any of these theories we've covered today. What your theories are about that blood on Sofia Cornedo's lip. Obviously, who's it looks like a head, but who's he holding? What is Lan holding there at least? And then we have what is on Egwene's wrist. And now, what's this pink thing? That's basically it. So yeah, I love it. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this little kind of just impromptu thing we've done here. Village Mattress said, pesky customers have got in the way of my seeing most of this live stream. Thanks for the content in the middle of the day, Dusty Wheel. Yeah, like I said, we'll be doing more of these, just kind of me showing up, doing some Q&A, talking about trailers, doing maybe 2 of these a week, 1 or 2 as I have time at lunch, basically. Okay, let me rush through these final kind of points. These are just fun ones that I found here. This is something you've all seen. This is not something I've discovered, but I just love this, so we're showing it anyway. Look at those golden eyes, right? Oh my gosh, I love that they paired golden eyes with Perrin in this scene. They didn't give Perrin those eyes, of course, but I love the gold, and they just made that. I did enhance this a bit with some brightness and contrast, but that is really, really standing out, and I love it. That one I had to just bring up because it's cool. Now, okay, this one might be a little bit controversial for you, but I'm going to ask a poll question here. Everyone talked about this scene. I can switch to it. This is a lovely scene of Lan defending, protecting Nynaeve. But I did notice during my watch, I was like, hey, wait a second. If you look at this, it looks like Lan is standing in front of Alanna right here. You can kind of see him through her arm there. But notice who's off to the left-hand side is Nynaeve. She's off to the left. And then when you switch into this next image, she's moved over. Lan did not. So that's the question for you all. Who moved first? That's what I want to know. Do you think that Nynaeve, as stubborn as she is, moved over and Lan grabbed her arm as he did? Or do you think kind of Lan made the first move here? That's what I got to ask here, everybody. So I want to know who made the first move. And I want to know if it was Nynaeve, because everyone talks about that. And again, it doesn't look like Lan has moved, but it does look like Nynaeve did. So kind of curious who you think moved first. Who made the first move? Hopefully that made sense. So this one's just fun. We're just having fun with this one because it makes me laugh. But yeah, again, what made me kind of see this again, running my treadmill. That's all that's happening. And just noticing that people had talked about this scene a lot and noticed that she was actually shifted over to the left. So did Nynaeve go in for the, she doesn't look particularly concerned, but did she kind of, move over? And Rajesh just said Nynaeve is too stubborn. I knew this was going to come down to who you believed was too stubborn. I get it. Amy said Lan told Nynaeve to get behind him. I got it. I love DK Moon said Nynaeve shot first. This is going to be a controversial question out there. Rahul said Nynaeve, duh. But like I said, Rajesh said Nynaeve is too stubborn to move. I get it. No way Nynaeve moved first. Must be camera trickery. Love it. And yeah, from Duder, really liked her costume, right? No way she moved first. Oh, this poll question's gonna be controversial. I can already tell. The question of how many times did Lan have to ask her to move? Marisu, That should have been the poll question. Let's be honest. This should have been the poll question. That's freaking great. So thank you very much for that. By the way, if you're enjoying this, please do, as you've seen the symbol show up, please do subscribe, like this video, and make sure go share this with fans. Like I said, I don't think I've heard fans talking about these questions. So yeah, please do. I'd love you to share this out and get fans in answering these questions about some fun and some serious questions that have come up in these. Now, this is one last shout. I had to give a shout out. I'm an idiot. I guess I just didn't realize Taylor Napier was a left-hand. He's a left-hand. How do you say it? He's a left-hander. Yeah, I just noticed. It was just something I noticed, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I had no idea. I haven't stared at the pictures and noticed that. So hey, for those of you that already noticed that this, then yeah, good on you. I didn't notice that. So just a fun little thing. And the final note, and this is one I didn't get time to look into, but this isn't like something I discovered. What looks like some kind of symbols are on this horse that the Mirrodrall's riding. So I'm kind of questioning now, and I'm wondering if they've gone into great depth on the Old Tongue. Do you think that they've gone into great depth on like Trolloc script? Do you think that we're going to get these symbols are actually meaningful? I haven't had a chance. This was just a final entry into this discussion. Kind of curious what you all think. And basically, yeah. Let me end this last poll, by the way. Who made the first move? Oh, look at that. It wasn't as close as I thought it might be. This last poll ended. Nynaeve made the first move, was 58% of you. Look at you. But yeah, back to this last question. Yeah, I love this scene. I totally agree. What Shadow Killer. And so, do you think Amazon has developed Trolloc script? Do you think this is going to show up in the show? I'm kind of curious, have they gone to that degree? So yeah, I love it. The Trollocs had fists that had logos. Really? Maybe I totally missed that. See, there you go. This stuff, I think there's an unending amount of things here. You can, I love this dude up at the front. It seems like maybe this is the guy, if Lauren's still here, that was, he's definitely eating something. There's blood all over his chest. When is this, when has this happened? Who knows? But that was the last question, everybody. That was the last observation. There was one I brought up yesterday, which was Tam is crying in a particular scene. And my guests said they thought that was going to be early on. I think they thought that was episode 1. My curiosity was, why is Tam crying? If it is episode 1, is it just a matter of Rand leaving? Something like that. Why do you think Tam is crying? Please leave that in the description below. Here we are. This was we went maybe 5 or 10 minutes more than I thought we would. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little, lunch break for me, at least, talking about these details. And we'll end this show with our final poll here. 150 of you have voted. Oh, wow. Okay. We're going to end this up and say, look at you all. And Hector said it's just art. Totally get that. Said 68% think they are going to draw something out here versus this just being art, potentially. Just something there. So love it. I love what I'm seeing in chat here. Thank you very much for showing up today. Hopefully you enjoyed this little sneak peek into basically stuff I noticed while I was running on a treadmill. That's what I should have titled this episode or this show today. But yes, please do like this video on the way out. Yeah, go let people know if you enjoyed this and these were things you didn't notice. Go tell some fans to come over and to join in on this one. And like I said, please do afterwards leave us a comment about all the answers to these questions. And this one has to be my favorite. I love the idea if this is something from the Great Hunt that was brought in, and this confrontation between Nynaeve potentially and Siuan. I love that idea. So anyways, taking us back to the beginning there. Thank you all. This was a blast. Appreciate the tips from everyone and appreciate you showing up for another quick episode of The Dusty Wheel. Good afternoon. And as we say around here, smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well.
Scene.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
Sad.
not white.
I see Lukomi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
it does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Pair of like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all
This
of
is
a
not
sudden,
just
it's
a
like, wow.
traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a
for
moment
those that are
ago,
kind of interested.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and
probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,